Hello, my name is Taylor Hart, and thank you for viewing my individual vlog presentation. Today I will be discussing Chapter 7's Interpersonal Communication Ethic, with the specific topic being distance from the textbook Communication Ethics Literacy by Arnett, Fritz, and Bell. In this presentation, I will discuss what Arnett, Fritz, and Bell discuss in the text, a video clip from a movie, Freedom Writers, that exemplifies distance, and a scholarly peer-reviewed article that explains and gives us another point of view on interpersonal distance. Let's begin. For most people, when they think of distance in relationships, they think of a long-distance relationship, or they think that one person in a relationship needs distance from another. Our textbook gives a great example. If you hold an object close to your eyes, then move the object away, it becomes clear, whereas when it's close to your eyes, it's blurry. In essence, distance is necessary in different aspects of our lives because it permits us to have an understanding, grow and prosper, and are made safe. We all know someone who is stubborn or stuck in their ways because the text says they are ahead of themselves. This is known as overrunning reality. They try to be ahead of time, interaction, and possible interests. This is important because we often use interpersonal knowledge over distancing between people. Theorist Martin Buber discovered this. He believed by doing this, a person was dishonoring the other. You don't leave room for a person to communicate effectively because you believe your perspective is the only perspective. Theorist Lori Morocco believed that the phenomenological distance in interpersonal relationships permit appropriate space to relational development. The text gives us an example. When one of the authors was small, his father would take him fishing. The boat had to go very slowly in a lake full of logs and stumps, obstructions that made navigation difficult and simultaneously created excellent conditions for fishing. Frequently, the distance between where the boat started and the perfect fishing spot seemed to take forever to traverse. Slowly, they covered a distance that never seemed to decrease, and as soon as they had fished in one spot for a while, the father moved to another. Years later, that young boy, now a grown man, can remember catching only a few fish, yet literally hundreds were caught, primarily largemouth bass. What now remains in memory is what was always in distance, that which occupied the space between here and there, which became the here leading to another there. Logs floating, birds perched upon them, turtles sitting on the logs, an occasional water snake, moss, waves, and shoreline grass, the changing colors of the water, the sun, and the two companions, a father and a son. It is in distance between the here and there that memories live. It is what happens in distance between the here and there that shapes the texture and richness of life and a relationship. Therefore, distance is necessary for rational growth between people. Now that we have an understanding of interpersonal communication ethics and distance, here is a clip from the movie Freedom Writers. This movie is about children who are deemed poor and will not be successful by their school. There is racial distance because in essence, they were taught to protect their own, meaning their loved ones, so that they created distance between those who they felt would harm them. But a very persistent teacher who vows to make a difference because she believes in her students and cares for them shows them a different way. Let's watch the clip and see if we can identify distance.
We'll be right back. No. Erin? Back in the car.
Jack, it lives right here.
I'll get her. Back in the car, lock your door. What's
Brian.
Andre? You Andre?
Let's review over the clip. The woman who got out of the car is the teacher, Miss Gruelle. The older gentleman is her father, and Andre is one of Miss Gruelle's students. Distance was displayed in this scene because as Miss Gruelle got out of her car to proceed to go and get Andre, her father stopped her so that he could go and get him because he felt as though the environment they were in was not safe for her. So he as a father created distance between his daughter and the environment that could harm her because he loves and cares about his daughter. And even though Miss Gruelle was confident and persistent to going to get Andre, she followed her father's wishes, which also reflects on Buber's belief. She put her belief aside to honor her father's, allowing his perspective to be relevant. In completion to my presentation, I will describe to you a peer-reviewed article that discusses interpersonal communication ethics and distance. The article I chose is titled Early Development of Interpersonal Distance in Children by Bass and Winston of York University. The idea behind the article is that children learn to develop interpersonal distance at a young age from several factors. There is Dozy and Measles, Gordel, Hall, Little, and Summer, all of 1969, state that culture, status of the individual, ecological setting, degree of acquaintance, age, and personality all influence interpersonal distance. This correlates with Littlejohn and Foss from the textbook Theories of Human Communication. They describe that communication theory, phenomenological tradition, is where we come to know the world through direct experience, meaning what we observe and do. In summary, Bass and Winston did a study to see if this was accurate. They studied 113 children from the age of 5 to 9 who were in public school on those factors. The results showed true to the theory except for sex of the individuals and degree of acquaintances. This article tells us that interpersonal distance is portrayed in relation with someone you know or care for and love, but also with people you don't know based on how you portray the world from experience, stated by Littlejohn and Foss for the phenomenological tradition. Children from 5 to 9 only know the world from what they are taught at home, school, and programs they're in. Therefore, interpersonal distance is through a phenomenon as well. To conclude my presentation, I hope that you have gained an insight and understanding of interpersonal communication ethics and distance from relationships through a summary of the text, examples, a video, and from peer-reviewed article that gives us another example. Distance is a demand that is required to understand and build relationships. Now, here are some references to the materials I used to create this presentation. Until next time.